So volume 2, there are less mistakes. So we are confronted with less vicious attacks from chess fans because we also use more sophisticated computers. And one of the greatest contributors is the, as we call him, the strongest first category player in the world from St. Petersburg. The guy who uses computers and analyzes his game. That's his hobby. He just spends all his time, you know. He's a carpenter. Yes, he makes doors. But you know, when he has time, you know, he works on my great predecessor. And he said that he just discovered, you know, that the book is a classical demonstration of the development of chess computers, because he could say I'm able to identify where and how Kasparov used Fritz 4, Fritz 5, Fritz 6.
And then he moved to a Pentium 3.
It's quite interesting because when the concept of the book was first published in Welt am Sonntag in 95, 96, and I used very, very primitive computers, so you understand that the quality of the commentaries was not very high. And then I came up with more powerful computers, but some of the segments were, we were stuck with old segments. So we are changing it now that's why everything we do in 2003, 2004 is far more sophisticated. But there's still segments. And even now in volume 2, I can see that certain things I have to change, but that's probably, it will take certain before we will have our hands free for corrections and some updates on volume 2. I already have my plans. But so far, we're very busy with volume 4, and I hope that 6. That's a limit. Also, I wouldn't be so confident because volume 6 now is all my matches with Kasparov, 5 matches, and I'm not sure I can squeeze them all in one. So volume 5, I'm quite comfortable. It will be Karpov, Korchnoi, and what I call opening revolution of the 70s. With different things that were introduced at that time by players like Jan Himman and young Hungarians. So that will be one book. Volume 6, but it will be in 2 years' time. So that's quite a monumental work. It's really time-consuming. I have to tell you.
Well, I thought we just have a couple of questions from the internet. We had actually 300 questions, but we selected 4 or 5. One very good question from a guy in France, Laurence Pereira. He said, "Dear Mr. Kasparov, I was wondering about preparation, motivation and concentration. It is generally accepted that if one plays against better opponents, your game on the whole should improve. And I suppose that the reverse can be said of playing weaker opponents. How have you managed to find the motivation to remain at the top of the chess game for 2 decades? Do you find it annoying that other grandmasters are getting better because of the quality that you introduce in your games, i.e. they are learning from you? And do you not agree that it's easier for other grandmasters to be chasing the guy at the top, as it helps preparation, focus, concentration and motivation?"
My own experience of chasing guy at the top was very short. It was about 20 years ago, so that's why I have to refresh my memory. For nearly the last 20 years, I was always a target. So that was a dream of all the players. Strong and not very strong to beat number 1. So that's why I experienced a lot of not problems, but psychological pressure to stand top. It's a real challenge. I wouldn't mind confessing that sometimes it's getting to your nerves. Why you should do it. So maybe you take it easy. But at the end of the day, I can't help myself to quit my winning instincts. So it's if I play, I have to win. I have to try to be number 1. And now there are more challenges. We are facing a new opposition. I play youngsters now, teenagers, and they're all equipped with computers. They learn more in 1 year than Bobby Fischer could learn through his entire chess career. So that's why to beat them, you need more creativity. So there's always a challenge. I think it's more about your own character, your own determination and instincts than about the development of a game of chess. If you are determined to find something new, if you are still enjoying it, you can find a good challenge. And
hey, I've got one from Mr. Sakari Pankonen in Finland who said, "Dear Mr. Kasparov, how much more time do you use in your game preparation today than, say, 15, 20 years ago?"
Incompatible.
Yeah.
It is incompatible.
Different
I remember these old good days when we had few notebooks and there was secret notes. You know, I played. Now I look at this notebook and say, "Oh, was this kind of nonsense? I played Harper." That was it. You know, was this papers? You know, I took on Harper and I won. You know, but moreover, because of these papers, I was considered the best theoretician of that time. So there are very few analyses that could survive. From 85, from 90, from 95. So I renew my database, my personal database, virtually every month. So today we are reaching approximately 60,000 separate analyses in my personal database, and just to give you an idea that by the mid 2000, before I played Kramnik, the number of separate analyses in the database was slightly over 6,000. So by that time already, I played. I was a world champion for 15 years. I played many matches. I have been spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours, and still, it was 6,000 plus. Now, in the next 4 years, I nearly tripled it. So that's why, I would say probably every 2 years you double, the amount of analysis that you look at, so the preparation is very different. Also, 10, 15 years ago, you could come up with a new plan, new idea, a novelty, and you consider it for a while, even for a few months, even for a year, because it's a great idea, and you wait for a big fish, and you don't want to spend it on your opponent. Today, we're dealing with big numbers. If the position is once played, say Kramnik played Lek. Now the game is being known for the entire world of chess within 24 hours. So everybody looks at the position, and you will automatically see dozens of games played in different tournaments by weaker players in the same position. And they will, again, big numbers. They'll find a good move, not because they could analyze as well as Kramnik could or Kasparov can, but because there are many games. So they try this move, that, and eventually they come up with the right move. So everything is going to happen within a week or two. And then the new move will be immediately picked up by stronger players, will be introduced on a higher level. So the circle of renewing your chess stock now is very, very short. So within a month, certain positions can be exhausted, especially if you have a couple of strong tournaments, like say Vikanze, Linares, and some weaker tournaments in between. So something played in Vikanze could be then picked up by weaker players and tested in Linares, and maybe in Amber in this blindfold competition. So in 3 months, you can have a brand new opening theory in certain lines. So that's why we have to adjust our views.
Okay, well the last question from the internet is from Errol Mamia, who's 12 years old and comes from near London, Canary in Kent City. Mr. Kasparov, if you could go back to the beginning and start your chess career over, would you do anything different in the way that you studied and learned chess?
Oh,
didn't turn out that bad, did it?
As we always say, yes, I'm sure I wouldn't make certain mistakes, but I would make others.